Hey you stick arms, do you want a bigger biceps, triceps? Because I do too, and we're gonna hit arms in this workout, and I'm gonna try to convince you why you should do my workout. But first, we need supplements. Huge supplements, of course. It's a little late, you can see it's dark outside, and I have to go to bed before 5 a.m., fortunately. So what you see here is not a milkshake, not a smoothie. It's kind of like a smoothie texture because I put 2 scoops of pump serum, which has a shitload of pump ingredients, beet juice, L-citrulline, all the good stuff, glycerol, so it's very thick. So you'll probably get a pretty good pump. Anyways, I'm showing you the warm up. I'm doing bench press first. Always warm up, the muscle group's gonna be involved, and it's gonna be your hips. If you have trouble just like setting your hips down, then do some hip swings. Rear delts, which is why I'm grabbing the ball, working up that muscle group, the infraspinatus. And then we're setting up the bench. I like to prop the bench a little bit higher than usual. Like usual as in like the default setting of the bench, because it's built for someone that's very short. And if I had to use the bench without propping it up, then I probably wouldn't be able to get any leg drive. And you'll see. So this is 135. I always start with the plate. I don't start with anything less. And you see my legs. I'm extended at the hip. I'm driving my legs against the floor. Well, I'm not driving them against the floor. I'm pushing my toes forward. And what's keeping me in place is the way that my upper back is set. And I like to use a bar to set it just like that. Get on my tippy toes, press my toes forward so my hips extend, kind of like the top end range of motion of doing a hip thrust. That's 225. Now we're doing 275. Again, I'm making that arch from my toes all the way up to my hips to my upper back. And my butt just kind of barely glazing the bench. That was my top set, 295 for 3. And one thing I'm trying to work on with my bench press is I'm trying to spend more time holding the weight before actually going between my reps. And you might be thinking, why are you doing that? Well, I got some news that I probably said multiple times before, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back, boys, to powerlifting. I want to get strong again, and I want to do it the right way. And I have my fun with bodybuilding. I'm not done with bodybuilding. It's just, it's kind of nice to lift some weight. And what really kept me going in the long run was lifting some damn heavy ass weight. Bigger issues I had in the past was that I'd come back too strong into training. I would have a program, I'd make myself my own program, but I just would omit essentially week 1, week 2, or jump up like 10, 15 pounds on every single lift. And that's not good. You don't want to do that. Even in this training session, you might be like, holy crap, he's lifting 60s on hammer curls. I'm actually not even going that hard in terms of effort and training. And it's not to stroke my ego, it's just the weeks where you're getting into a new split or adapting to a new movement, you want to make sure that you have the motor pattern control, the motor neuron recruitment to be very effective with your technique, and to make sure that you're not creating more muscle damage and what's needed to get better for the next session. Now, I'm looking at this, I'm like, god damn, I have made a ton of forearm, what is it called? The radial ulna bone area, like those forearms. I made some sick gains. Brachioradialis, that's what I was meant to say. My brachioradialis muscles have grew a lot, and I like contribute to the heavy hammer curls. They are solid. So if you're wondering, how do you get such big forearms? I don't do any of the wrist curling stuff. I just straight up do a lot of hammer curls. Now, getting back to what I just talked about, introducing new movements to your split or movements you used to do, we stopped doing, and now you're doing them again. That's exactly it with dips. I used to be able to dip 4 plates, 5 plates pretty comfortably, but I'm trying to work them more for tricep development, which is why I'm opting for the closer grip on these. And you have to be careful, because if you're not comfortable and you load like 3 or 4 plates, you might feel some snapping action in your shoulder. And taking my advice I just said earlier, I'm going sub max, and it is sub max, but you can still see them shaking. And this is definitely going to have effect on my training for the next week, which is all I really want, is to do the littlest amount of work to produce the most result. So my body doesn't feel like it's an absolute shambles. All these exercises, I know like they can't just look random, but I didn't realize I cut these so short. A lot of these exercises are going to train biceps and the triceps at different lengths, some more focused on the short head of the bicep or the brachioradialis forearm muscles, or lengthened positioned with different positions based on where the elbow sits. We're doing some triceps here because why not? This is probably the best tricep exercise to do. If you're doing dips and close grip, just finish with this. You don't need much more, to be quite honest. Even for the bicep, if you're doing a lot of hammer curls, make sure you have one movement where supinated and your elbow is at different parts in front of you and behind you. That's why I did the drag curl. You want to do a movement behind you, so your elbow's behind you. And just make sure that you don't leave no stone unturned. So these are my arms. I haven't been tracking macros all that consistently in a good while. And that's because I felt like I was holding on to a lot of water and my physique actually looked shittier. But I decided to take a little bit of a macro counting break. Since I've been traveling quite a bit and training for powerlifting has been reduced volume, not that heavy, we'll definitely return to counting macros because I do believe it's best if you truly care about being the best version of yourself in the gym. It's only increased recovery, baby. Now this video is pretty raw, I'll admit. If you like this type of video, felt like it was too short, could be longer, or just perfect, please comment below, like the video, use code JESSLEE for YoungLA, use my code and send it to me on Instagram. I always do giveaways nowadays. And use code JESSLEE if you want some future supplements. And please comment below a topic, a style that you'd like from me in the near future. I want to get more active on these type of videos and keep it a little bit more real. Peace.